If you want to see me attempt to make Darsh's vegan chicken and waffles, keep on watching. Okay, to start off these waffles, we're going to add some vinegar to some soy milk, give this a little stir around, and then we're going to let this sit for about 5 minutes. Next, we're going to sift the flour and the baking powder into a large bowl. It also states to sift the sugar and the salt, but I'm using brown sugar, so it's usually a bit of a bigger grain, so I'm not going to sift that. I'm just going to pour it straight in. So we're just going to mix this around, get it all combined. The soy drink, to be politically correct, has been sitting with the vinegar for about 5 minutes. So now we're going to slowly add this to the dry ingredients while we mix. Alright, also this batter, we're going to add some vegan butter and some oil. It says to use vegetable oil in the ingredients, but I'm using peanut oil as a neutral oil. So we're just going to mix this up until it's lump free. So I've mixed it all together and it's lump free and no dry flour is remaining. It seems quite thin. So I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes while I prep some other stuff, and then we'll let that flour fully hydrate and see if it thickens up just a little bit. Okay, to start off the wet part of the batter, we're going to add vinegar, the soy milk. Now you want to just mix it together and then let it stand for 5 minutes. Now this is going to give it like a buttermilk, kind of a imitation buttermilk. We're going to add corn flour, some regular flour, and all the spices. As always, all the correct amounts of ingredients will be on the website traditionalbutnot.com, and we will link the original recipe from the 10 Play website. So we're just going to mix all this together so it's nicely combined. Okay, I've just let the batter sit for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, it's thickened up quite nicely. So, crack on with the next step. So I've got my waffle line here. I've already preheated it. Now, I can find spray oil in Austria, but I forgot to buy some. So, I'll do what I always did before, is just get my little pastry brush here, and some oil in a little jar, and you just, paint some oil around the place. So we're going to add 2 ladlefuls of batter into the mold. We're going to close it up, let it cook for 2.5 to 3 minutes, then we'll give it a flip, and let it cook for another 2.5 to 3 minutes. According to my stopwatch, we've been rolling for about 2.5 minutes. So with my waffle line, now's the time to give it a flip, and we keep it rolling for about another 2.5 to 3 minutes. The recipe says 5 to 6 minutes cook time, or until the steam's reduced. Now mine's been going for just over 7 minutes, and the steam's starting to reduce. So I'm going to flip it back around, and we'll open it up, and it's a bit munted the way it looks. It's all went to one side for some reason. So my first attempt didn't work out so well. Now my waffle line's a lot bigger than usual, so I think I added more batter. So on my next time, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to double the time, and then we'll see what happens. So I've been cooking this one for nearly 15 minutes now, and I hope it works out, because even though this one was janged up, I've nearly eaten the whole thing. It tastes amazing. Flipping back around, let's see if this worked. What is happening here? So this one looks a little better. As it sits on the rack, I'm hoping it's going to crispen up a little bit, because since I've taken it out for 15-20 seconds, it's already gotten a little bit crispier. So I'm going to finish off cooking the rest of the waffles, and then we'll jump on to the next step. So I've got my breading station set up here. Now I'm going to add some of the wet batter to the dry, just a few tablespoons to create some lumps and some shaggy bits. So I'll just put a few in and then give it a little mix around. Now you don't want to skip this step, because this is what gives the the nice little crunchy bits on the mushrooms in this case. Okay, so we're going to go dry, wet, dry, and then into my little dish here. So I've already gone ahead and kind of prepped up my mushrooms here into palm-sized pieces. Now you just want to make sure that you get the flour into all the little nooks and crannies, just like that on the first one. Tap off the excess and into the wet one. So get it all nicely coated, let the excess drip off, and back into your flour. And again, make sure you get into all those little nooks and crannies, no wet spots remaining. Now I'm going to go through and get the rest of them breaded. I'm using my wok to fry these up here, and I've got my oil up to temperature already. Now we're just going to drop these mushrooms in and cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes each. I could use a deep fry for this, but I need like 5 litres of oil for that thing, and the wok does just as good as job, if not better, with a lot less oil. To make the spicy maple, we're going to add some maple syrup to a pot, and then we're going to add some cayenne pepper and some chili flakes. Now I didn't really measure too much here, because everybody's spice tolerance is different, but we're going to add this much. I'm going to give it a mix, and then we're going to bring this up till I get some nice syrupy bubbles, and then we're going to set it aside to rest. Hey, once you got some nice bubbles like that, you just want to set it aside for around 10 minutes to steep. So full disclosure, I've attempted vegan waffles before, and I'm not sure if it's the problem with my waffle iron or what, but the underside, even when I don't make the vegan ones, gets a little undercooked, but after they sat for a little bit, they did crisp up again on top, so I guess that's one thing. Let's see how this tastes. My mouth's salivating from the chili. So the challenge was to create a vegan dish where you didn't miss the meat. I absolutely don't miss meat in this dish at all. These little fried mushrooms, they're absolutely amazing. So, I tried to recreate the dish just like Darrsh, but I'm pretty sure taste is amazing, but I think my waffle iron let me down a little bit. If I get another one, I'm definitely going to be making these again. After I ate it, I had to take a bit because my mouth is still salivating from this chili maple number. It may look like a lot of chili, but it is the perfect amount. It's absolutely gobsmacking good.